Why do you pick negotiation for today?
Why did I pick negotiation for today?
That's the key word.
That's the key word?
Why?
Well, because today is going to ideally, if they show up,
the legislative members.
The legislative council member, if they're going to show up and have the first, what was supposed to be a week ago today, the first legislative council meeting. And, there's been a real lack of negotiation going on in this city, with the students and the government. Every time they say they're going to have talks, they don't
but the
talk.
government said it's never intended to be a negotiation. It's always intended to be a dialogue.
Yeah. I mean, really, the hair splitting is getting pretty fine these days. Yeah. And then, so we're going to see, so there's been that issue of negotiation. And now we're going to see in LegCo today, there may be there's going to have to be a negotiation as to whether or not it even happens. And then once they get there, they're going to be talking about, who's responsible for using the tear gas on protesters, which they were supposed to talk about last week. And they're going to talk about, who is, what I'm wondering is who is capable of negotiating between Beijing and the pro-democratic forces. I mean, because right now the Hong Kong government... So not only the students and the Hong Kong government, but Beijing. And I think a lot of people, myself included, have come to the conclusion that the Hong Kong government is not playing a role as a negotiator. They're just carrying messages from Beijing. A messenger, yeah. And so that's why we had the open letter to Xi Jinping from the students, because they know that, they're like talking about having talks with the government, but the government's not really in the driver's seat. And so they're trying to go direct to the power. So we're going to see who is capable of carrying a negotiation. I think the single person to watch all this is Jasper Tsang Yoksing. I mean, he is coming out with ideas, and I think he's going to be the guy to watch.
But you know what? We still have to think about whether there will be any room for negotiation.
Yeah. And, a couple of days ago, Monday, we saw the police slowly taking back a little bit of territory. But what's it going to take to get this whole thing
what?
Up?
Physically, last week, the students and the government cannot even agree to the venue for the dialogue.
I know.
Which means there's no room.
There's
no physical room. For negotiation.
Well, I'll tell you what. In order to, I know. I'll tell you what. I just had an idea while we were sitting here talking. In order to resolve this impasse, I'd like to invite the government and the students to come to our office. And we have a meeting room that is
here.
Smaller. Yeah, we can do it.
Here.
All right, fair enough. Well, Vincent, maybe we'll arm wrestle to see who
you can be the facilitator.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
And actually, we can have 5 people here and 5 people here on both sides. Totally transparent.
You know what? I had the idea, but you definitely have the better facilities. So in our negotiation, I think that's a great agreement. That's how it's done.
You can do the simultaneous interpretation.
Fantastic. Okay.
For foreign media. And it can all happen here.
There you go.
All right.
If the students in government can negotiate like you and I, we'd have a solution like that.
Yeah, and for the record, if the government and the students agree to negotiate here, we can waive their fee.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you,
We are social enterprise. We normally charge a price.
Well, that's very kind of you.
All right, thank you.
Good thinking, Vincent. That's some great negotiation.